In today's video, I want to talk about some things that pretty much all of us are going to deal with at one point or another, and that is brown spots in our lawn. Let's get out of the weeds. So before I get into the video, I wanted to give kind of a quick update on kind of what I talked about in my last video. So let me show you here real quick. As you can see here, this is that little spot of annual bluegrass that I have. You can see here, it's been a couple days now since I mowed. I know when I did that last video, I'd recently mowed, but you can see now it's grown up a little bit, and you can see that it's much lighter in color than the rest of my grass, and you can just see all those seed heads. The other thing that you can just start to see with just my normal grass, as it goes a couple days, you start to get all these seed heads now kind of starting to pop up in my lawn here. So that's what a lot of you are going to start seeing once you go 2 or 3 days without mowing your lawn. You're going to start seeing those seed heads begin to pop up all throughout your lawn. Now, a lot of times with cool season grass, our lawns stay pretty green beginning in the spring. Pretty much everybody's lawn looks very, very similar, whether you're taking care of it good or not. Most of the time it's going to be pretty green. Now, as we start to make the transition from spring into summer, one thing you will start to see is that you're going to start seeing brown spots in lawns, either in yours or the people around you. And being able to identify what the cause is of those brown spots is going to go a long way in determining how to treat them. Now, when I mention about it being summer, the one thing you got to kind of mention is when it comes to watering. You're going to start to notice lawns getting brown because of a lack of water. And it can even happen to yourself if you're not paying close attention. Now, typically in the springs, our lawns are getting adequate water, which our lawns are typically looking at between getting 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water a week across your lawn. Now, in the spring, we also have the benefit of cooler temperatures, and so our lawns won't typically need quite as much water. But as the temperatures start to rise, our lawns are going to be getting a lot more thirsty and therefore needing a lot more water. So with this, you're going to start noticing lawns trying to go into what we call summer dormancy, and that is the lawn not getting enough water, and so it starts to go brown, and therefore you're going to start seeing brown spots with that. Now, I did a video last year talking about heat-stressed lawn and just kind of show you, the first thing you're going to notice is start getting a discoloration in your lawn, and it'll kind of look almost like a grayish color. It'll look a little bit different than your normal, typical, nice green grass. And then the next step after that is it a lot of times will check out and it'll go full brown on you and go into summer dormancy. Another cause of brown spots can be from your own mistakes. Now, if you look at the lawn directly behind me in my backyard, it looks pretty nice right now. But as you'll see here right now, it did not look so nice going into the fall of last year when I put down fertilizer at the improper rate and burned out my lawn. Now, the way I was easily able to tell that it was from me putting down too much fertilizer is because you could see the burn marks in my lawn were like perfect straight lines of just like the perfect rows that I would go as I'm walking to spread my fertilizer. It was not a natural looking burnout. It was very mechanical looking, which looked like, hey, this was something that was put on it to cause this. And it coincided perfectly with me putting down an application of fertilizer that I found out that I was actually putting down at the wrong rate. And so it became a good story to kind of be able to show you guys how a lawn can recover. But by doing that improper application, my lawn paid the price. Now, if you see a brown spot, take a look at it. If it has a funny shaped pattern or something that's like, this doesn't look like a natural pattern, there's a good chance that it may be caused by maybe yourself or maybe something else is at play. So now another example of just kind of something that had to have been done by a human and not just by nature is you can see the spot kind of on my property line with my neighbor directly behind me. Now, everything around here looks real nice and lush and green, except this one little spot that's literally like a perfect square. So you can see here as I'm up close, you can see it's literally makes a perfect square, and everything in here is just dead. I mean, there is literally no life left at all in that spot. So for me, when I see a spot like this in the lawn, it tells me, one, when I look up close to it, that's absolutely dead there. So I am going to have to replant. Now, with that, part of the issue is, okay, what potentially could have caused it? Now, it's right here on my property line with my neighbor, and this is kind of a hot spot for weeds at times. So I don't know if maybe so we had some like actual like Roundup get sprayed on this, like in this spot here, or maybe something was spilled, but that would be my guess. I know that I haven't sprayed anything specifically on there, so I don't know if something was spilled or something happened, but this was definitely a decently sized spot to be completely dead kind of in this area. Now, another thing you want to pay attention to is where are the spots located. As you can see kind of here, right up against my mailbox, I have some dead spot literally directly up against the mailbox. I wonder what may have caused this. Yep, you probably guessed it. Probably neighborhood dogs on a walk. They see a nice pretty mailbox post and they're like, I'm just gonna pee right here. And so the consistent dog pee right here killed the grass right there. So thank you to the neighborhood dogs. Now you gave me some more work to do. Now lastly, a common thing that you're going to begin to be seeing, and I'm going to actually be doing a more in-depth video on it, but is lawn disease. Anytime we're getting ready to transition from a season where we're going from, like for us, spring, cooler temperatures, more rain, to summer where we're getting less rain, higher temperatures, anytime you're doing things like that, there's a high chance that your lawn could start to develop lawn disease. Certain portions of my front lawn just absolutely love to get lawn disease on them. And so, for example here, I'll just kind of zoom in on a spot here that you see that's started to get brown. So you look there, take a look at the leaf blades. If you get down in there, pull out a blade of grass and it's discolored like that and has the lesions on that, that's a sure sign that your lawn has lawn disease. My lawn is a mixture of a lot of the different cool season grasses, and a lot of my grass is not brand new, freshly planted. So my lawn is very susceptible to getting disease, and it almost always does. So putting down proper disease control is really critical for me with my lawn. And typically that time that I typically put down any disease control on my lawn is typically right around somewhere around Memorial Day. And so that's why I was saying here in a couple weeks, I'm going to be getting ready to do a video talking all about lawn diseases. When it comes to lawn disease, there's lots of different diseases that your lawn can get depending on the grass type that you have. Now, if you know the grass type that you have, you may want to just kind of look up common lawn diseases. A good resource to use is the University Turfgrass Extension sites. Now, the one I use that's closest to me is Purdue's site. On those turfgrass extension sites, a lot of times they'll have really good articles showing you really good pictures of some of the lawn diseases kind of that they're seeing in your area. And so you'll be able to look at pictures and be like, oh yeah, that's what I have. And it'll give you kind of a good idea of how you should treat it. Because some disease is treated just simply by fertilizing. Some of them are low fertility. So you hit your lawn with fertilizer, it'll get that disease out of there. Others are not going to be that way. Others, you're going to want to put down some kind of disease control, some kind of fungicide to take care of it. And so that's what I'm going to walk you through a little bit more in depth. But if you're starting to see these things in your lawn now, start to do some research and look up what you think it may be, because there's a wide variety of lawn diseases that you may start seeing. So now I hope this video was helpful for you to really start to kind of identify what you may be seeing in your lawn. Just pay attention, always get in close, and really start to think of, wonder what could have caused this. And so as you kind of get into your lawn care routine, these are the important things to kind of start to learn. If you start to learn your yard, you'll kind of know when things are going to kind of start to need done. For me now, with this being multiple years that I've been working here on this lawn, I start to kind of know what's coming. As I get into May, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to start seeing a little bit of disease popping up. And so I know kind of as I get to the certain times of year, what to start expecting with my lawn. I know my problem areas and I know my strong areas. And so that's kind of one of the things you want to start to develop in your own lawn as you kind of start to get a routine. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful